So as is the case with every problem thus far involving the square root property, our first step with 5 times the quantity a minus 5 squared plus 4 equals 104. Our first goal, rather, is to isolate the binomial term, the term with the variable that's being squared. So we subtract 4 from both sides first. That's going to give us 5 times a minus 5 squared plus 4 minus 4 is just going to be 0. 104 minus 4 on the other side is going to be 100. So now we invoke this, the division property of equality. We need to divide both sides by 5. That's going to leave us with a minus 5 squared equals 100 divided by 5 is 20. Now we will invoke the square root property, take the square root of both sides, remembering to take positive and negative square root on the right-hand side. The square root of a minus 5 squared is just going to be a minus 5. We can simplify, I'll go ahead and write it out, plus or minus the square root of, this is 4 times 5, so we know we can bring that 2 out. Square root of 4 is 2. So we'll add 5 to both sides. A equals 5 plus or minus, now remember we're bringing this 2 out. Square root of 4 is 2 times the square root of 5. And again, we could factor out a 5. It would make it a complicated a complicated mess if we did that, though. So we're just going to leave it as 5 plus or minus the square root of, or 2 times the square root of 5. Or we could say 5 if we want to write it separately. A equals 5 minus 2 times the square root of 5, or a equals 5 plus 2 times the square root of 5. As always, we check our solutions by substituting into the original equation. So first we have 5 times, let's go 5 minus 2 times the square root of 5 for a. So 5 times 5 minus 2 times the square root of 5 for a, minus 5 quantity squared plus 4. We want to know, does that equal 104? So if we simplify what's inside the parentheses, 5 minus 2 times the square root of 5 minus 5. So 5 minus 5 is 0, leaving us with negative 2 times the square root of 5 squared. Let's go ahead and subtract 4 from both sides as well. We want to know, does that equal 100? So negative 2 squared is 4. 5 times 4 times the square root of 5 squared is 5. Does that equal 100? 5 times 5 is 25, times 4 is 100, so this solution checks. And in this instance, we'll see 5 times, if we use the other solution, 5 plus 2 times the square root of 5 minus 5 squared plus 4. We want to know again, does that equal 104? If you'll notice, we end up with what's left inside as 2 times the square root of 5, because 5 minus 5 is 0. So essentially everything is almost the same from this point forward. Plus 4, does it equal 104? 2 squared is 4, square root of 5 squared is 5, 4 times 5 is 20, times 5 is 100, plus 4 does equal 104, so that solution checks as well, which verifies that if 5 times the square root of a, or excuse me, if 5 times the quantity of a minus 5 squared plus 4 equals 104, then a equals 5 plus or minus 2 times the square root of 5, or in other words, a equals 5 minus 2 times the square root of 5, or 5 plus 2 times the square root of 5.